Congresswoman, when you hear those remarks, what are your initial thoughts?
Again, we have someone who doesn't know what he's doing. And, you know, this idea of, oh, you know, you're illegal and then you go out and have a child. It's not quite that simple, especially when you have people that are doing things like seeking asylum and people that are saying, listen, I'm just trying to make sure that I can live a better life here in the United States. And I want to do everything that I can to become an American citizen or at least get some sort of legal status. And you have, you know, Trump that goes out there, him and his minions, and they say things like, you know what, we're only going to get rid of the bad ones, right? And so people sit there and they're like, wait a minute, you're going to come to my job where I'm working and I may be paying into taxes or whatever, or my kids are at school. You know, I think that there's going to be a rude awakening really on all sides.
We got a lot in store for you guys today. And as you saw, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is at it again. She's already criticizing President-elect Trump's border czar by saying that he's not qualified for the job. Is she serious? Now, many people would argue that she's the one who's not qualified to be in the House of Representatives right now. There's also this turmoil within the Democratic Party as former First Lady Michelle Obama got blasted online for sharing a weird holiday greeting. And with so little time until Trump is back in the White House, we're hearing of attacks to the U.S. Treasury. Now, it sure does feel like chaos is right around the corner. So let's go ahead and start with Representative Crockett and her less than stellar time within the Oversight Committee. And guys, thanks so much for hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. You guys are amazing. Appreciate that, guys. Let's jump in.
Have you ever heard them say if, since we've been sitting here for I don't know how long? Because honestly, if they would continue to say if or Hunter and we were playing a drinking game, I would be drunk by now.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, and it also sounds like you have to know something about math. My colleague brought that up as well. It sounds like you need to be at least somewhat decent at counting to be with the IRS. Yes.
Yes.
You'd agree? Okay.
I agree.
Now, you just can't make this stuff up, guys. And Crockett is calling out Tom Homan and saying that he's in way over his head with the border. She's arguing that someone has to explain to Trump in an elementary way that we don't go after our allies and start wars. But many people find that hypocritical given that the Ukraine-Russia war was started under President Joe Biden. And the same could be said for Israel and Hamas, also under Joe Biden. So here's the thing with Homan. Tom Homan, he fired back and he said that he doesn't even know who Representative Crockett is. She's nobody. And he doesn't care about what these people are saying because he's done his job for a long time. Going by his tenure, Tom Homan has a winning record when it comes to enforcing Trump's policies at the border.
A lot of people have wondered, how is this going to work? So how will it work?
Well, look, I think the president's been clear on the stage. As far as the deportation operation, we will prioritize public safety threats and national security threats because they pose the biggest danger to the United States. He's got three rails. So we'll do the deportation operation with the priorities I just talked to you out of the gate. That'd be the priorities. Second thing is secure that border. Lock that border down and catch and release and secure the border. The third rail is we got over 300,000 missing children. Over 500,000 children have been trafficked into the United States. This administration released them to unvetted sponsors, and they can't find 300,000 of them. And based on my 3.5 decades, some of these children are in forced labor. We already found some in forced labor. Some are in forced sex trafficking. Some are living with pedophiles. We need to save these children. So that's going to be the third rail.
And while many Democrats don't trust them, they do have the support of border control. So here's the National Border Patrol Union President Paul Perez talking about it recently. Check this out.
So what I say is take President Trump and his incoming administration at their word. They're going to do the job of protecting Americans. And so it would be incumbent upon those sanctuary cities and jurisdictions to understand one thing: federal law supersedes state law. Any municipality, anybody that's going to get in the way is going to be dealt with. And so they need to take this incoming administration at its word because they're going to have some of the best legal minds working within the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security. So it's not something that they're taking lightly. They're going to do the job.
And with that in mind, do you trust the new border czar Tom Homan to fix the problems created under the Biden-Harris administration? Now, let's talk about the failed presidential bid of Kamala Harris and how Michelle Obama's taking it. So the former First Lady went on Instagram to share a holiday greeting that was more salty than festive.
Happy holidays, everyone. I know it's been a difficult few months for so many of us and that folks are feeling a little bit anxious and uncertain. But even during these tough times, there are plenty of reasons to stay hopeful.
But here's the problem, guys. The majority of the country is fired up about Trump's second term. In fact, a lot of them were in her comment section. So here's one response. Michelle, America is excited about what's to come, a new horizon and prosperity for the nation, 2025 through 2029. No anxiety here. Another one says, a difficult few years from the damage the Biden administration has caused. Things have never looked better since Trump won the election. The people have the power. Not even all those celebrities could change that. And while those hurt a lot, many also called out the narcissism of the Obamas. Even as they greeted people during the holidays, they just still managed to talk about and celebrate their own foundation. So they're not celebrating Christmas and they're not celebrating the New Year. They're celebrating their own success and the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. And while they failed to extend a fourth presidential term, it looks like Trump's second one is already seeing some trouble. Watch this.
All right. And there is some breaking news tonight that a Chinese state-sponsored hacker accessed unclassified documents at the Treasury Department this month. What can you tell us about that hack and how significant is that?
Yeah, I mean, the Treasury Department is saying that this is a pretty big deal. I want to read you exactly what they said just to make sure that we outline exactly what's going on here. Basically, what they said was that as of December 8th, a third-party vendor flagged to them that there was a Chinese-sponsored entity that was able to access what they described as unclassified documents. They said that this threat actor was able to override the service's security, remotely access certain Treasury workstations, and again, access not classified, but unclassified documents. So it seems like there wasn't anything too sensitive that was part of that. But what the Treasury is going to have to do now is report back within 30 days back to Congress to offer a little bit more detail about exactly how this happened and maybe what could be done to prevent it going forward. But the Treasury described this as a pretty serious issue, although I want to point out again, it was unclassified documents, not classified documents that were allegedly compromised as part of this hack earlier this month.
Concerning nonetheless.
Exactly.
I guess I got to ask the really important question here. How many times will they allow China to do this without repercussion? Because it's unnerving for people who have money in the bank. They're supposed to ensure the financial security of our country, which includes national security. And they're telling us that this is a major incident. China, on its end, has denied any involvement, saying that the accusations from the department are baseless and that they oppose all forms of hacking. Well, whatever the case may be, this is another embarrassing fiasco for the Biden-Harris administration, adding to the long list of successful cyber attacks under President Biden. So today's video is sponsored by Sol Global Investments Corp. This is a company that invests in various industries worldwide. Now, right now, Sol Global is changing its focus to specialize in digital assets technology, specifically the Solana blockchain and related technologies. Sol Global Investments Corp can be found on the following exchanges: the CSE exchange under ticker symbol SOL.CN, or on the OTC exchange under ticker symbol SOLCF. Now, to reflect this new focus, Sol Global renamed one of its key subsidiaries. What used to be called Sol Verano Blocker One LLC is now Sol Focused Investments LLC. And so this change really highlights their commitment to Solana's ecosystem, which is known for its speed, its scalability, and its potential in areas like decentralized finance, DeFi, and next-gen digital apps. Paul Kania, Sol Global's chief financial officer and interim CEO, explained that the company believes that Solana offers the best chance for growth in blockchain and AI technology. He emphasized this move is a part of the company's large vision for the future. Sol Global has already made some pretty big moves. So the first investment, they spent $2 million USD to buy 8,123 Solana tokens at a price of $245 per token. Then they made an additional investment of $1.5 million, buying 4,533 Solana tokens at $331 Canadian per token. They then invested another $1.5 million, purchasing 4,360 372 tokens at $343 Canadian per token. So altogether, Sol Global now owns 17,028 Solana tokens, showing their confidence in Solana's potential to grow in blockchain, DeFi, and other tech areas. And Sol Global isn't just holding their Solana tokens, they're using a strategy called staking. And so staking means that they're locking up their tokens to help the Solana network operate securely and efficiently. And in return, they earn rewards. So here's what they've done so far. First round of staking, they staked their first 8,123 tokens at a 5.6% rate. Expansion, well, basically, they then later staked an additional 8,905 tokens, also at 5.6%. They also plan to stake more tokens in the future. And so this staking approach is designed to earn a steady yield while also benefiting from the potential increase in Solana's value. In order to support this strategic shift, Sol Global launched a new website at www.solglobal.com, which focuses their commitment to investing in Solana technologies. The site explains their philosophy, and it also gives investors a clear picture of their new direction. And as always, anybody who's considering investment should always do their own research. While Paul Kania and Sol Global have made bold moves, investing in digital assets involves risks. This video is not financial advice. By focusing exclusively on Solana and implementing a detailed staking strategy, Paul Kania and Sol Global Investments Corp are positioning themselves to lead in the blockchain space. Their new investments and rebranding efforts show a strong belief in Solana's potential to reshape decentralized finance and digital technologies. All right, guys. So I got to come clean. I've never been to New Orleans. I've never been to Louisiana. But I heard the food is really, really good. And we just had a massive New Year's Eve celebration. By the way, Happy New Year's Eve, or Happy New Year's Day. I hope you guys achieve your New Year's resolution goals. Comment down below if you guys have a New Year's resolution goal and what's your number one goal. I know some people have a lot of goals, but what is your number one goal for the year? I want to hear. Mine is to lose 10 to 14 pounds, but I want to hear from you guys. A lot of people have financial goals, but, shockingly, New York City was expected to be more of a target, according to the FBI and other very reputable sources. You guys get my sarcasm on the reputable sources, right? Anyway, but New Year's Eve New Year's celebrations in New York was actually pretty on point, and the NYPD did a very good job at keeping everyone safe. Me and my family, we were just out there in New York City just a couple weeks ago, and we got to experience a beautiful New York atmosphere during Christmas time leading up to New Year's Eve. But what we are hearing is some very concerning news about this incident, this attack that took place in New Orleans, and they're now labeling it as an act of terrorism. And it took place on Bourbon Street. And I mean, Bourbon Street is known for like all sorts of craziness, right? This is where I would normally see like the girls, they do whatever for the beads. Y'all know what they do for beads, right? They throw the beads off the rooftop. Anyway, I was told I need to go check it out. I don't know if I should. If any of you guys have ever been to New Orleans, Bourbon Street or whatever, let me know if I should check it out. And if I should, what's the one thing I should check out when I go there?
We are continuing to follow breaking news out of New Orleans. City officials say a truck slammed into a crowd along world-famous Bourbon Street overnight in the city's French Quarter. 10 people were killed and dozens more hurt in the middle of New Year's Eve celebrations. The FBI says the driver of the truck is also dead after a firefight with police. He has been identified, according to federal law enforcement sources to CBS News, as Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen who lived in Texas. He had previous criminal reports of theft and driving with a suspended license.
Whoa, hold on a second, guys. I don't even believe this. This is really hard to believe that this happened on New Year's Day, right? On New Year's, this identified suspect as Shamsuddin Jabbar. They're saying he's a U.S. resident. He's a Texas resident. He's a U.S. citizen, but he does have previous criminal reports of theft and driving on a suspended license. Now, what are the chances? What are the odds? And I don't know if you guys believe this. I'm having a hard time believing this myself, but what are the odds that this guy I don't know, maybe had a little bit too much to drink, and just drove his truck through a massive crowd. Like, could this possibly be an accident, or do you believe what the media is trying to tell us, that this is an act of terrorism? Because this is clearly an attack, but there's not enough evidence, there's not enough information out yet to really confirm what's what yet. But this is, I hate to report this. Like, we should all be celebrating, but unfortunately, there's at least 10 families that are not going to be celebrating right now. This is a bit much, man.
Law enforcement sources say a long gun was recovered at the scene, and our affiliate WWL is reporting that was equipped with a silencer. We can also report that he was wearing body armor at the time. I want to go to CBS.
Oh, come on. Now, if you got, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. When these additional details come out, it's like, all right, the dude's wearing a body armor suit. He's got a long gun with a silencer, not even a handgun with a silencer, a long gun. So what was his real objective? Like, maybe this thing could have been far worse than what was even carried out here.
News congressional correspondent Scott McFarland in our D.C. bureau. Scott, what else can you tell us about what new information we have coming in about what happened and who this person is?
Yeah, let's start with the top line information from the FBI, that they are leading this investigation as a terrorism investigation. And according to our latest CBS News reporting, images we've reviewed from the scene show a black flag attached to the truck used in this attack. And there's an investigation as to whether that's a flag associated with ISIS or a different extremist group. But our reporting is that ISIS nor any other extremist group has not claimed responsibility for any attack today. We also know that there is a concern moving forward about what to do with tonight's Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. We're expecting a 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. New Orleans time press conference with local authorities. Perhaps they'll update what the security regimen will be, if it will change at all for the Sugar Bowl, if any other adjustments are going to be made. But just as a reminder, the Sugar Bowl is a major sporting event in America in any year. And this year, there's added importance to the game in terms of football. So the crowd size is expected to be massive. Tens of thousands of people, if not more, gathered around the Superdome for the Sugar Bowl tonight. Then, of course, there's a Super Bowl in New Orleans in February, which is a national federal homeland security, national security event with an enormous security apparatus around it. There have been concerns, ongoing concerns in New Orleans about the threat of mass casualty attacks with a vehicle in the French Quarter, including on Bourbon Street. The CBS News review of city records and memos shows in 2017, they discussed possibly further limiting vehicular traffic in that area to prevent mass casualty events. But the city public works department in its memo also acknowledged that many of the businesses and homeowners nearby wanted to keep some vehicular traffic to ensure the businesses continued to thrive. It's an ongoing debate, not just in New Orleans, but in other U.S. cities, especially, Lindsay, when you bring into the context the December 21st deadly vehicle attack.
Guys, I don't even know what to say on this one. Like, this just breaks my heart, I mean, where can we go nowadays and be safe? I mean, it's like, do we just have to stay in our homes and just, stay in our bunkers to stay away from? Because anytime there's a mass gathering, that's a massive opportunity for bad actors to execute their plans. So now me and my family, we stayed home, and everyone I talked to, did anybody go out for New Year's Eve, for New Year's celebrations? We stayed home. We didn't even go out. And like I said, everybody I talked to yesterday that I ran into that was asking, hey, what you doing for New Year's Eve? We're going to be at the house. And that's not really good for businesses. A lot of businesses that, restaurants, bars that tend to, service and congregate and make money during big events. If everyone decides to stay home, all these small businesses end up seeing their revenues and bottom lines and profit margins dry up. So that's not good for business. That ruins America. How do you make America great again when small businesses are closing down left and right? So anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. This is breaking news. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the content and the updates. Let me know if you guys had heard anything about this, because this is a breaking story. And is anybody watching the Sugar Bowl game? Do you guys think that it should be canceled? Does anybody have any bets on either of the two teams that are playing in the Sugar Bowl? Let me know your thoughts. And if this wasn't embarrassing enough, he's getting even more backlash for the last minute decisions within his term. Now, I covered this in a previous video where President Biden hands out multiple pardons for people on death row. Many families have spoken out feeling betrayed by this decision. So make sure you guys check that out, as you're not going to believe his reason for doing this. But as always, appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.